So tell me, what are we talking about today?
Today on Keepin the GEEK BROS podcast, episode 125, we've got The Stand. Jesus Christ. We've got The Stand review. Loki episode 1 review. WB revives The Lord of the Rings with animated movie War of the Rohirrim. Love, Death, Robots season 2 episode 3 review. And Fortnite's new battle pass. All this and more in this week's episode. Stay tuned.
And E3.
We're not talking
you
E3.
buy one
We're not talking E3. We're not talking E3. Stay tuned.
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, keeping up with the Geek Bros.
Yes. Keep the GEEK BROS podcast. I'm Vibe. And with me is Juancho, Darflex, and Man. And we are the hosts of Keepin the GEEK BROS podcast, a family podcast. I say podcast so many times, allegedly. All right, let's get it going. There's nothing really going on with the Geek Bros because this is as good as it gets. So don't judge us. But what I'm going to move on to is what's on your mind, gentlemen. Juancho, you're up.
All right, so since my topic is not going to be here, so what's on my mind is E3. How crazy it's been. It's been a lot of great news lately.
No. What's
in my mind? No.
Put that in game. Put that in what's new in game.
Okay.
Put that what's new in game.
What's on my mind? Just chilling, just counting the days for my son to get here. He should be born on about 11 days.
What time does he land?
He lands around maybe 7:30 in the morning.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, so that's the time that they project landing. So we'll see. We should see what happens.
I'm very proud of you. You've come a long way.
Yes. He's traveling from far lands, mystical lands. So it's gonna be a good thing.
South of the border.
All right, Mr. Flex. What's going on in your hood?
I just finished presenting some data. That was pretty cool. Quit drinking for a while.
Why?
So that's cool too. I need to drop a couple pounds, get a bit bigger. Trying to get
That's
about
what she said.
20 pounds of muscle.
Why don't you just what is it? Wrap yourself or was it fluid cutting? Whatever you do.
That's
weight loss.
That's water weight, man.
Water weight.
I'm trying to lose body fat. I got back on intermittent fasting today. What?
Why?
Because I don't like looking like shit.
Oh no.
And in my business, that's kind of bad, especially since it's so heavily dependent on social media. It'd be better for me if I looked a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And leaner.
Is it because you saw those pictures of Daru and then you just looked at yourself like, God damn it.
I see that guy every single day. No, that's not it. I just need to. If I want to keep not working for someone, I have to take better care of myself.
Yeah, he's got to look the part. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know, that whole do as I say, not as I do nonsense. I get it. I'm so proud of you.
His balls.
Man, what's on your mind?
I've just been this entire room that I'm currently hiding in.
All I see is Loki, but okay.
Yeah, so I'm in a void with him. It's great. But it's coming around. It's been a lot of work. It's been not fun, but I'm getting it done. My girls need it, so it's happening.
Good. I'm so proud of you. That's a good dad. Okay, so what anybody says about you, man, you're a good dad.
Oh, I don't care what they say.
I know that's right. Oh, what's on my mind? Well, if you ignore the fact that I had a shitty birthday, which is really shitty, I actually I'm making it up with joining this little stupid thing I heard on Y100. It's called Dad Bods. It's like show off your best dad bod.
Oh no!
If you, I'm all about that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna let it all hang out. But it's this funny thing though. Is the reason why
you're gonna take your shirt off?
I 100, I 100 sexiest dad bod, but it's not in public right now. It's just you post a picture and you vote on it.
Shirtless?
But the problem is that it's about dad bods. You think dad bods, you think flubby, you think out of shape. But some of the dudes that put up pictures in there are like rock hard. I mean, that's not Exactly. There you go, dad bod. You got it.
Yeah, that's a dad.
That's what I'm talking about. So I when I heard it on the radio, I was like, absolutely. But I went on Y100 and I saw the pictures, and yeah, there's some real dad bods, some really funny ones, but there's some jacked motherfuckers on there. I'm just like, that's not a dad bod. That's what Flex is trying to do. So come on now. So now I'm thinking twice, because what if they actually choose a chiseled person? So I embarrass myself for nothing, you know? No, I thought we were all going to be letting it all hang out, not rolls, not abs, but we'll see. I'll definitely let you guys know, so all 12 of you fans can vote for me, so I can win $500 and I'll be on a big billboard or something. So it'll be good.
Could you imagine you shirtless on
Yeah.
the billboard?
Hell yeah. Listen,
Little poofs of hair and all.
I'll put there as seen on Geek Bros. So, but that's about it. That's all I gotta say. So, without further ado, episode 125 starts now. But first, subscribe to our podcast, because it's the right thing to do. We're moving on to the Fresh Scent.
Fresh Scent.
Fantastic. Anybody have any movies out this week that you want to highlight?
Yes, In the Heights. Amazing movie.
I've heard so much about that. It's a musical, right?
It's a musical,
Why don't you
music
explain
by
it?
Lin Miranda. He's the one that did the music for Hamilton. He actually played Hamilton. Movie, it's about a person trying to find their way in a suburbs of not suburbs, the part of New York, the New Yorican part of
Washington,
New York.
Washington Heights.
Yeah, there you go.
Very lost interest.
And it's just not. But listen, here's the thing: you may have lost interest, but the movie plays a really good role on the Hispanic cultures and how Hispanics are looked upon by different people. And you actually, if you're a Hispanic, you will actually feel a little bit of proudness in that movie.
I'll just watch Coco.
That's disrespect. That's bro, you're being dumb right now. Either way, back to what I was saying. Movie was great. Overall, great. The actresses were beautiful. The music was great. The dancing was amazing. At times, I felt like it was they missed a few moments, but besides that, like it was overall good. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. Man, did you watch it?
I did not.
Recommend you watch it. It's a good movie.
He said I did not.
Watch it.
Remember, did you watch it? I did not.
I told
are
you
going to watch it?
Probably not. I can't do musicals, man. Like
I forgot. I forgot. We had a whole conversation.
We had a whole thing about that.
Yes. Never mind. You're not gonna watch it. Perfect. You might enjoy it. It's actually, Lin Miranda is the one that wrote the music for what's it called?
I do.
Moana.
But he's like, his political comments really turn me off to anything he's ever fucking done now, except for Moana, because thank God to Dwayne Johnson.
You're welcome.
I don't like my entertainment to come with a side of politics. So,
but most entertainment now is coming with a side of politics. What's your point?
I mean, I can't really think of any that I enjoy. Like Lord of the Rings isn't fucking telling me about the current president. Neither is Star Wars.
No, of course not. Of course. Well, what?
And that's pretty much.
Star Wars.
Okay, well, let me tell you. The movie doesn't talk. This movie does not talk anything about current president. But it does talk about the struggle.
I'm talking about specifically Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Okay.
I'm just turned off by anything he does now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fair.
It's one of those I cannot separate the actor from the
message?
character kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, I respect that. That's fair.
Kind of ruined it for me.
Okay,
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
All right.
But also, it's a musical.
Any other movies before we move on?
The Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It.
Boo.
It kind of, it wasn't as good as the other ones, but it's a good addition to the story, because I think they're leading up to they're gonna have to like take some creative liberty here and kill one of them eventually.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do something because
one of the family members.
Yeah,
no, one of the two. One of the
Warrens.
One of the Warrens.
Why? Why do you think so?
Because like
they
that's
always come
kind of
close
what
to
it's
death at
leading
some
up
point.
to. Yeah.
How do you figure?
And she keeps having these visions of like one of them dying. It's just, it has to happen now.
Oh, okay. I like that. It's like this is a cinematic universe, right? Isn't it? Sort of?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I like it. All right. Anything else before we move on?
No,
What's new in the gaming world? Geek Bros approve video games. released this week by Juancho. Juancho, you doing that? We haven't done
All
that.
right. Yes. I am doing that. So let's
He's
start
excited
off by
about this.
let's start by saying that E3 is currently.
What happened?
I think we lost him.
I'm
That
still here.
was
I'm still here.
perfect. That was
What did you do?
You started off and then just went mute.
I changed.
Even the
channels.
thing
Okay.
saying "fuck."
All right. So the games out this week is Infinite Trap remastered on June 16th. Police Simulator Patrol Officers June 17th.
Wait,
Red Solace 2 Survivors June 17th. Rogue Book June 17th. Warstone Season 4. Alex Kidd in Miracle World. And that's about it. Now, E3 is happening this week. We already saw Microsoft's slash Bethesda's presentation on Sunday. Was it so? Was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Really well. They just played trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer. Starting this month, we already started with Yakuza Into the Dragon. Just dropped on Game Pass. Next month, we have a whole bunch of lineups coming up. It's just going to be game after game after game every month. They just confirmed 2 games that are going to be exclusive to the Xbox games. We're going to have the Starlight by Bethesda, and we have another one that's coming also by Bethesda that's going to be exclusive to the Xbox. So the games are just going to be piling on like crazy. Every single game that they present, Game Pass,
It is.
nonstop.
And
Must
I'm
not
so
stop.
glad to be officially an owner of an Xbox now.
Allegedly.
They are going to have a Flight
I'll
Simulator
show it to you. You want me to grab
Standard
it?
Edition coming to
Yeah,
the
grab it hard.
the thing. Now, a game that we may be into because we need 4 players is Back for Blood. It's a zombie survival game shooter.
that looks
So
good.
that's coming out, and that's going to be on Game Pass. Forza Horizon 5, the racing game, is coming out. It's going to be a great game. It's coming on Game Pass.
Love it.
Psychonauts, Game Pass. So it's going to be good.
Hey,
Ubisoft was not good. So if you guys want to do any of the replay of the Ubisoft, don't watch it. Don't waste your time. It was a horrible showcase, except for the Mario plus Rabbids new game that's coming out. And that's pretty much it. Square Enix announced that they're gonna have a new game by Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna be in it, and it's gonna be a standalone character, so you don't get to play with all the other characters. From what I saw, you only get to play as Peter Quill. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all announcements that have been announced. Nothing too crazy.
It's
Did
still one more
they
day,
announce?
right?
Did they announce the new Final Fantasy game on there?
No, they didn't talk about it.
Oh,
mean,
that's interesting because
what
I saw the preview and it looks a lot darker
mean-
than what they've
I
normally
mean-
done.
I mean, they did before, like it was already announced, like for final, because already Square Enix already had their showcase before E3, and they talked about their Final Fantasy online game that's coming out. So that's about it. It's nothing was like been like, oh man, this is new. We already expected this. The only thing that I was not expecting is just how Microsoft is just hammering down with their Game Passes. Every game, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna catch up. How am I gonna catch up with all my games? All these games keeps coming up on Game Pass. Out of the
Yeah,
32 games that they announced, 27 of them are on Game Pass.
So,
That's crazy.
but there's still more. There's still more, right? E3 is not done yet, right? Or
Yes.
am I-
So tomorrow Nintendo does announce. So I am excited for that one, just because I want to know if these rumors are true. Today, GameStop did their advertisement, and they did say that they are trading in consoles, and you can trade in this console and get the new Switch or the Switch Lite. So that means that they're going to probably announce new hardware, but Nintendo already has said that they're not going to mention any hardware. So it's kind of like contradicting, but at the same time, there
What
was
are you,
about a
what are
report.
you predicting that Switch Pro that everyone's been talking about?
Yeah, the new resolution of Switch. That's what I predict, but it could be true, it can be not, because I was reading the other day, or I watched, where somebody that worked at GameStop was like, oh, they looked at the schedule for this month, and the days after 2 days after E3, they're going to have double coverage what that means is that they're getting ready for an influx amount of people coming into the store to do pre-orders. So they want to make sure that they have the staff on site for it. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I saw. So if everything points to it,
listen to Juancho with his sources.
Nintendo may be releasing new hardware. If they do, I mean, hey, more power to them. But I doubt it. They've been very secretive about it, and then plus they know how to fuck with their fan base. So yeah, that's pretty much all E3.
I love it. I love it. Well, I guess we'll finish up next week with anything else. Hopefully, there's more stuff. And
good question.
Nope.
How accurate is that? Is that a police simulator?
Oh God, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to look it up.
Kind of want to get it now.
It's on Steam.
Yeah, but we all know what you want to do, bro.
Yes. So I
want to find me a vibe.
What? All right. Well, just briefly, just for the hell of it, because we are avid fans of Rick and Morty, Fortnite's new battle pass will include Rick Sanchez and Superman. So if anybody out there still playing Fortnite, get it in there. I saw the trailer for it, and Rick, it looks great. It looks funny. Actually, looks kind of cool. This game, this battle pass, something about invading aliens or something. But yeah, if you're playing Fortnite and you're fans of Rick and Morty, check it out because Rick Sanchez is in there in all his glory. I don't know if his voice is there though. I didn't hear anything, but all his glory. So check that out. All right, we're moving on to the cure for your common day, The Stand. The 2020 or 2021 Paramount limited series special. Author Stephen King's post-apocalyptic vision of a world decimated by plague and embroiled in a elemental struggle between good and evil. The fate of mankind rests on the frail shoulders of 108-year-old Mother Abigail and her handful of survivors. Now, I'm watching this now actually on Paramount Plus. I got bored.
So you have Paramount Plus?
Is this the Whoopi Goldberg show?
Not a show. She's in it. She plays.
Can you share your password? Because I mean, if you have the Paramount Plus, I mean,
Why is this something you want to watch on Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got it too.
You give me back your Crunchyroll access, and I'll give you my Paramount Plus access.
I didn't. Yeah, I can give that to you.
Okay, because I need Crunchyroll because it has all the
Gundam.
Yes, yep. All the Gundam stuff. I didn't realize.
Did you see that Netflix is releasing a bunch of Gundam crap in the next month or so?
And I have Funimation, so I can give you both.
That's right, because the Tenchi Muyo is on Funimation. So
there you go.
But yeah, so I'm watching it, and I mean, just a quick review. It's the same story. I'm watching it because I was a big fan of the made-for-TV miniseries. It was very cheesy. I didn't know any of the actors in it, but I loved it. I love the story. I love the concept of it. I love end of the world narratives. At the time, I was religious, so I liked the religious undertone that was there. God versus the devil, and just prophets versus people, and basically it was like its own slice of revelations. So I really enjoyed it back then. So I'm watching it now the new one, better graphics, better cinematography, a star-studded cast, but I prefer the campy one from my youth. Let's not call it nostalgia goggles. Call it that it was so much more earnest. Back then, good was good, bad was bad. Any deaths or any betrayals or any stuff I felt that more from that version than the version I'm watching now. I like what I'm watching. It's kind of boring sometimes. Don't get me wrong. The flashbacks of the main characters, their flashbacks are actually more compelling than the actual current story, which I find to be quite disappointing. The current story is literally Las Vegas versus Ohio or some backwater town, and that narrative isn't as fun as all the characters' backstory. How they got there? What happened when the world went to shit? What did you say? God damn it! You guys, I told you stop talking when I'm talking. The reason why we never covered MODOK, since you want to bring it up there, is because I just didn't care about renewing my Hulu subscription, so I wasn't watching it, but I just renewed it actually today. So yes, I will finish watching MODOK, and I'll get to it. Back to The Stand. Anyway, so again, The Stand from my youth was way more campy. I enjoyed it. It was good. And I'm not digging Whoopi Goldberg as Mother Abigail. Just want to throw that out there. I'm not really digging it, but whatever. But I do recommend it for anybody who likes Stephen King or who watched The Old Stand. Just good for comparison's sake. And again, like I said, it's star-studded cast. People are popping up in this. Ezra Miller popped up in episode 5. That's how star-studded. Just these characters just pop up.
Flash?
So yeah, Ezra Miller. He's in it. He plays. Oh god, his character's annoying as shit. But and more annoying than the Flash was. I mean, like really more annoying. But yeah, I would recommend it. Watch it. I think there's maybe 6 episodes. I'm up number 5. Each one is an hour long. The story's compelling. Like I said, I think how each main character got to where they are, that story is way more compelling than the actual present story of the world and God battling the devil or whatever it's called. So, go for it. Check it out. All right, we're gonna move on to who watched Loki episode 1, Glorious Purpose. Okay, good. Okay, so based on Marvel Comics featuring the character Loki, it follows the alternate version of the character who created a new timeline during the events of Avengers Endgame, as he is arrested by the mysterious time variance. So let's get into it. I'll start with
before you do, because I every single time that I feel like I'm right, I need to say it.
Oh
so
God, here we go.
There was an episode that we did where Vibe completely thought he knew everything about the time. I'm glad that this episode proved that to him, because he was so adamant about how time worked in the Marvel universe. So, Vibe, please, you start. How do you feel about that? Because you were so defensive about how they were handling the time.
I don't
remember
the
timeline.
I don't remember what my argument was. Why don't you? What did
you were taking a stand on how the magic lady was like saying, "Oh, you can't take time because it's like breaks the timeline." And well, here you go. They just explain how it works.
Okay, so they read the whole thing. However, she's still right. The time still breaks, and the time variants go there and they reset it and they squash that alternate timeline. Nothing's been changed. Actually, if anything, it reinforces the idea that she says that if you mess the flow of time, things happen. And now we know that there's a consequence, and it's called the time variance. And they'll find you, they'll melt you, and then they'll completely reset the timeline that you started. So it actually didn't change anything. But thank you for reinforcing my point. All right. So anyway, Juancho, what did you feel about the first episode of Loki? Which I want to make it very clear. These titles, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki, Disney is got to get better with titling their shows than just titling it the name of the character.
All right. So while Vibe complains about the title of the show,
no, I'm just saying
directly about the characters. You want something like Strawberry Shortcakes, Vanilla Ice Cream, episode number 50 million, bro. It's just the character's name. What else do you want them to do? Do you want them to be some fancy ass shit? Come on, man.
You're fine with every single show coming out is just the name of the title character? That's not,
why not?
It's not creative at all.
What do they have to be creative about? They're giving you a fucking amazing show so far. Okay, anyways, back to my thing. Episode 1 was amazing. I loved every single one. I don't have one bad thing about it to say. It was really, really, really well. I was happy with it.
Well,
that's all.
All right. Well, let it never be said that Juancho isn't a shill for Disney. Man, how did you feel about Loki episode 1?
I was actually surprised.
What does that mean?
I wasn't expecting it for them to go the way that they went. I actually enjoyed the first episode. To see Loki's, as you would say, fall from grace, because he got to see, as this particular variant, there's a whole portion of his future that he is very unknown of, and he actually got to see that. Spoiler alert. During his incarceration.
Is that really a spoiler alert? I don't know.
I mean, he unless you watched it, but it didn't really show that he saw everything up to his death. Like
it did.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, so he then just like it kind of makes you think like, now where's his mindset at, because he's always kind of aligning himself where the true power is so that he can kind of gain control of it at some point. So he's now at this point, like, the Infinity Stones mean shit. The Tesseract means shit. I mean shit. What do I do now at this point? So it's like kind of like a revelation for him, and I'm kind of intrigued to see where they go with it.
You don't think you don't think that it was kind of cheap that they used him looking at his future to bring that Loki that didn't have any of the character development from the movies up to as close to as possible. They kind of skipped all that redevelopment and just said, okay, well, here's all your backstory. Don't you feel sad? Don't you think you should be a better person? He's kind of like, I hurt people because it's the only way I know how to do it. It was very introspective. I get it. But I think me personally, as I watched them and as soon as I started showing his future and everything, I said, I know exactly what they're doing. They're not going to start with the villainous Loki. Now, how do you narratively push his character forward to resemble the Loki with all that character development from Ragnarok, from Endgame? Okay, fine. Let's show him all his failures and let's force him to be in a therapy session and get him to that point. So now he can be the anti-hero again. Because remember, they plucked him when he was the villain. He was a villain when they plucked him out of there. So they don't want to have a series about a villain. So how do you get him back to the anti-hero part? You gotta press fast forward on it. You know what I'm saying? And don't
Well,
get me
because
wrong.
they're trying to use him
Who?
to catch the other variant.
No, you're right. No, but I'm talking about. No, I'm not talking about the characters. I'm being meta. I'm talking about the writers of the show. Is that they knew that they could not have half the series be Loki being a villain. And we needed him to be the anti-hero, but the only way to do it, to get him back to where he was, is to fast forward through his life and let him feel bad about things that he hadn't even done yet, kind of thing. So that kind of turned me on, because what I expected was, if you plucked Loki from Avengers out, you're gonna have him be a little prick for at least a couple episodes, like the real prick, not the little mischievous god, like a real prick for episodes, maybe 1, 2, 3. That maybe he starts showing through his actions and that he's doing the same thing over and over again, that he's failing. Maybe things need to change. Not giving him a clip show in the very beginning of the series, so he gets over himself or gets through.
Right.
You know, that's what bothered me a little bit. But other than that, I thought Owen Wilson was freaking spectacular.
Yeah.
I only watched the episode 1 for Gugu Mbatha-Raw. She's gorgeous. I love her.
Of course.
I'll marry her.
Of course.
Beautiful. That's the only reason why I watched.
Would you let her spit in your mouth?
But will you tell her that you love her?
Yes, I will. I said I even DM'd her that I loved her. She's
Would you let her spit in
gorgeous.
your mouth?
I only watched the Cloverfield Paradox because she was the title character in that. Like, she is
Would you let her spit in your
beautiful.
mouth?
But anyway, the story is intriguing. It left me intrigued at the end.
It is.
You didn't watch it,
It
but
is.
for episode 1, it was
Great.
no, it wasn't bad, but I
Here goes vibe with his cinematic.
no, I'm not being
vision.
cynical. I'm just saying that
His
for
cinematic vision.
for episode 1, it did not strike me. It wasn't as striking as maybe as weird as WandaVision was. WandaVision was weird. You kind of just looked at it like, what is this crap? Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that first episode was hot. It was action packed. I was like, yeah, I like where this is going. This one was more kooky, and I don't know how to explain it, but I wasn't digging it like I should. But it has me intrigued. The very end had me intrigued. So I look forward to it. Did you guys want to review every episode, or you want to review the middle of the season and then the end of the season? How do you guys want to do Loki?
Let's do every episode.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but you didn't even catch the freaking first episode. I'm gonna watch every episode. You didn't get the first one.
Yeah,
He's been doing science stuff.
I like the part when they ended up in Themyscira or whatever.
I like that. Good point. See, he watched it. All right, we can do every episode. That's fine. Good stuff. Final thoughts, guys? Any bad from either of you?
No.
They should have titled it Time Lord.
I agree. Man.
I think they should have at least given a little bit more explanation on this whole time bureau nonsense. But
Well,
we'll see.
It's the TARDIS.
Yeah,
It reminds me of anybody seen the Adjustment Bureau?
Yeah,
No.
It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of it actually. It actually made me want to watch that movie because I actually like that movie. Same concept. It's these beings that have predetermined destiny. When you stray from the path, they go there. They're trying to right the path.
they come in and fix it.
Yeah, they come in and fix it. It's kind of like the Adjustment Bureau, which I think it's kind of cool. That's the cool part about it. But yeah, that's about it. All right, Flex, I want you to talk about this because this is your thing. WB revives the Lord of the Rings with an animated movie, War of the Rohirrim. Hit that up for us, sucker.
All right.
I'm gonna go check my meat.
He's gotta
Okay.
go check his meat, which is
So
code.
this is the first Lord of the Rings movie we get in a very long time, and it's going to be an animated series. I for one am pretty excited for this just because WB's done well with animated movies or animated series, right? And it's kind of hard. Okay, well, I guess this is the only part I'm scared that they fuck up Lord of the Rings, but it's kind of hard to fuck that up. And I think with animation, they're gonna have a little bit more liberty, and it won't be as expensive. And I think they'll be able to do more rather than, even though the movies that are live action are fantastic, I think second to none. I just don't want to be like two things. I don't want it to be like the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings animated movies from when we were children, and I don't want it to be like some fucking heavily Japanese inspired anime either. What do you guys think?
It might be.
I
It might
agree.
be if it's the anime. If it's animated, it's animated. If it's anime, it may be Japanese style art, like they recently have been doing. Just depends how they go. I mean, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Leo. I forgot the guy's name already. He has very beautiful eyes as it is. So he maybe have great anime eyes.
Legolas?
Yes, yes, him.
No. I just don't think Lord of the Rings lends itself very well to Japanese style animation.
Exactly, but
It can like in one of those like animatrix kind of anthology things, but as an actual series, I just don't think it would do well.
true.
I just hope they don't kill it with Japanesey nonsense. Like I wouldn't be a fan of it at all.
I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
Japanesey?
Yeah. I think that's like one of those words we don't say no more.
Nah, I don't think it is. I think it's all right. I didn't say the bad words, so I think I'm safe. But I'm not really into the. I hope they don't do it.
You know, it would be a fantastic like CGI animated series, kind of like how they designed Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. Bro, that was fucking fantastic. If you could get anything remotely close to that, that'd be great. But I think it's gonna be cartoon, right? I mean, obviously nowadays cartoons are computer generated stuff, anyways. But I think it's gonna be something like that. Again, I just hope it's not like some kind of fucking Teen Titans type animation or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know if you got into this. I'm sorry, it's not the way I was still cooking curry chicken, slow cooking it. Is this the War of the Rohirrim? I've never heard of it before, and I've been doing a lot of YouTube lore of Middle Earth and stuff like that. Where is that in the timeline? Which age is that? Is that a sequel like after the movies?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a very vague title. I mean, the Rohirrim have fought various wars against the wild men, against orcs and trolls, and against.
Why do you think they chose the Rohirrim?
Because maybe we'll find out where they were when the Westfall fell.
That was Gondor.
I know. No, but I think out of all the men, like the Horsemasters have some of the best like lore, and just that I think it's easy to romanticize versus a like Gondor story, right? It's very not urban. Is urban the word? No. It's just too modern, right? Like it's better to go into those like farmer like horse people.
Okay.
That live out in the open, surrounded literally by enemies on all fronts. I mean, I think it's probably it's more easily romanticized, especially if it's animated. I think they can take more liberty with the nature as far as the green goes in animation.
Now, is there any way? Is this at all connected to the Peter Jackson movies at all, or is it kind of like how the Clone Wars cartoon that George Lucas put in theaters is part of the movies itself, supposed to be seen as like one of those?
I don't think so, only because there is no like Clone Wars book that was written.
Mm-hmm.
All the stories that exist around Middle Earth have pretty much all been written or been like legends in like video games. It would be really tough because even the movies themselves, while they had some creative liberties, are pretty much to the point for as what the books presented. Like, I mean, there's very little difference you can point out from the movies and books. I think one of the main ones is How Deer Never Died at Helm's Deep. So,
all right, cool. All right, so we're gonna move on to our final topic, Love, Death, Robots. We're gonna be checking out every episode of season 2, and we're gonna be reviewing it like we did last time, one by one. Episode 3, Pop Squad. A cop charged with fighting the scourge of overpopulation is hunted by the human. Wait, what is haunted by all the humans that he, I don't know, could told him his work. Who cares? Anyway, let's talk about this episode because this episode was kind of
Which episode was that again? Remind me, because I saw everything. I binge watched everything, so I don't.
it's the one where that guy tracks down a lady who has a kid, and
Oh, that one. Oh,
he
okay.
goes to her cabin.
All right. Yeah. No.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, right.
I can go first. That
You
one
should go
was
first.
very. That one was very. It very humanized. The whole episode. As to trying to make the decision. I felt like it was very weird. Like it was just odd, but I enjoyed it a lot. That episode out of all of them, I enjoyed the most. Just because there was a sense of like humanity in that video of having him make the decision to spare the little girl, then like fall. It was just weird. But yeah, that's it.
Man, Pop Squad.
Pop Squad. Yeah, I like this episode. It definitely.
Yeah, I like this episode.
Yeah, I like it. It was like it. I like it good. I like the kids. I like the children.
What?
I like how dark they delved into it, you know, as a enforcer of the law, you know, the certain things that people had to give up and sacrifice to, you know, create their own immortality or whatever. You know, it went really dark with having to chase down the children and, you know, killing them all or whatnot. But it definitely was interesting to see. It's almost like a movie that we've seen recently. I just can't really think of the name, like Children of Men or something.
I was just about to say it's the exact opposite of Children of Men.
Right.
When I thought about it, it's like the antithesis. It's literally the exact opposite. Children of Men, no kids. We're all gonna die in 75 years. Oh my God, one baby's born. This time,
one baby's born.
We're all immortal. The world's gonna be overpopulated. We got to kill any unauthorized births, because of overpopulation, and what we have, like they say they have pretty much immortality or extremely longer lives. So.
Yeah, they live forever, but they have to sacrifice having children. But it definitely shows like the human aspect of it, because it's like, you know, living forever, but you can't, you know, produce any children, which is like kind of a thing that you would do in life. You know, you want to enjoy the you know, having children and doing stuff like that. You know, I mean, I do. I've always had. Wancho's almost there. Flex is never going to be there. He's got dogs. That's almost the same thing, right?
Sure. So that's exactly the same thing.
Fuck them kids.
But overall, yeah, I enjoyed this episode. It was really in depth. It made you think. It did a lot of that. It was really good. It had me in my feels a little bit. But yeah,
it did. Yep, it sure did.
Mr. Flex.
This was a beautiful episode. Just visually speaking, I was really intrigued to see that Asian chick naked. I was kind of pissed that when they were in the car, he didn't go for it. But all that aside, yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, even though I don't have children, I do stand by my statement that absolutely motherfucking fuck them kids. But yeah, that's terrible. Like I could never do that. And it kind of reminded me of you know, like my tours overseas. It's like just stuff like that's very real. And I think it was very beautiful, very well portrayed for this episode. I mean, the guy himself didn't really do much, but you can see everything in his eyes. Whatever motion capture witchcraft they used there was
You said witchcraft.
And I think the cherry on the top for me was him shooting that female cop at the end. Just because
they shot each other, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, but she died.
He didn't die? He died too, didn't he?
He died.
We did he? I mean, we didn't see him die.
No, I think he died. I'm pretty sure he died.
We saw her die. I mean, I just really wanted to see her die. I hate seeing chicks like that, but that was great. Pretty cool. That one dude who got shot by the other cop. That was kind of cool too. I like how that was animated.
So you liked all the shootings. Okay.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's
course,
why
yeah,
we want.
goes
Listen, nobody watches Love, Death, and Robots for not shootings and not violence and not shit like that, right? I mean, who the fucking who here's gonna sit there? Oh man, I kind of wish there wasn't that much blood and violence in this fucking Netflix series that is known for violence. So yeah,
Well,
I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy the violence. We need more violence.
More violence, more anger. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the episode, but for me, this was the episode when I knew that Love, Death, and Robots was going soft because I fully expected him to shoot that kid. Not on camera, of course, like it was gonna fade to black and you'd hear bang kind of thing. I expected it to be a melancholy ending because even though it was, I mean, first season of Love, Death, and Robots, I could see that, yeah, you saw his humanity, he was intrigued by the child, all that good stuff, but that he was still gonna do his duty. That's how I expected it was gonna end. When it didn't end that way, I was like, huh, okay, this is gonna be a softer season. That's not a critique necessarily. I do like the harder edge that they had in season 1, but this was the episode I absolutely knew. I was like, yep, this season is gonna be much, much softer because
I agree with Vibe 100%.
Yeah.
The overall season. I know we got to go do episode by episode,
right?
But I can tell you right now, the softness is gonna get worse.
Exactly.
It's not a good season this time around.
Well, okay, well you're jumping the gun. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, but for me though, once I saw this episode and the way it ended, I was a little disappointed because I knew it was gonna be a softer season. Again, love the episode, great episode, but if this is one of the main episodes that deserved one of those melancholy, like darker endings. Like he needed to do his duty. I think it would have hit us harder than a redemption story. I think if you saw it in his eyes and you saw that he was pain, but he still did it because that's the way it is in the world, you know. I'm just following orders, kind of thing, you know. It's very, very rare that a person in that situation would risk their own life, not to follow orders, not to follow the rule of law, you know. So I thought that even though it was a great little redemption story, I thought if any episode needed that harder, darker edge to warn us about following orders and just being a robot and not being autonomous and thinking for ourselves, that would have been the episode. To have him end with, just talk about do the Sopranos, cut to black, boom, that's it. And
that's how it ended?
No, that's how it should have ended. That's how it should have ended, is what I'm saying.
What if the whole thing with Love, Death, and Robots, what if the first season was like just dealing with death, the second season is dealing with love, and the next season deals with like just straight robots?
I don't think every episode dealt with death and Love, Death, and Robots. Did every episode deal with death?
No. Well, yes, actually.
Every single episode?
Mm-hmm.
I have to rewatch it because if that's the truth, then that'd be brilliant. That Love, Death, and Robots. Every episode has Love, Death, and Robots, but each season would focus on one of the three. So season 1 was death, season 2 is, but then where are you gonna go with the robots? Just pure robots in season 3? I don't think it's gonna work.
Robot sex.
I just was gonna say that shit.
All right. So overall, guys, how are we feeling so far about the season 2?
It's not that good. It's not that good.
Meh.
I mean, listen, it looks great.
No, it does. It does. It's beautiful. Yeah. It is the Last Jedi of Love, Death, Robots. That's what it is. Beautiful.
Our style looks gorgeous, but the stories are the writers they got this time around are not that good.
So okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it for Keeping the Geek Bros. Before we end it off, shameless promotion, gentlemen. Let's start with Juancho.
Juancho _Juancho.
Awesome.
Instagram.
Darth,
that's yours.
Yes, you guys can find me, Darth Flex, everywhere on social media.
Man, if you say something, I'm gonna punch my screen.
You can find me. Wait, you can call me on your cell phone. You can find me as Man on Facebook and Man17093 on IG and Twitter if I ever use it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Vibe Studios, VIBEREVSTUDIOS. That's Twitter, Instagram.com, Facebook, YouTube. It's all there. It's called Brand Consistency. All right. So, and you can of course find us, the Geek Bros, whenever we actually do stuff. Geek Bros with a 0. It's GEKBR0S. That's Twitter and Instagram. Geek Bros with a 0 at yahoo.com. Email us if you want us to talk about anything or you want to just curse one of us out. Trust me, we will read it on the air. We read anything on the air, no matter how how hurtful it is. Of course, it's facebook.com/Geek Bros.
And then we get a bunch of like emails with the N-word in it.
Hey,
You
well,
gotta read it online.
I'll read it on air. I will say a disclaimer, but I'll read it on air. Of course, WeBeGeeksPC.com, the first place to listen to us.
First place.
That's what I'm talking about. And of course, YouTube.com/Vibro Studios to check out these buttery voices in their faces and all that stuff. What? Yeah, that too. Whenever it drops, a couple of days afterwards. So that's it for Keeping the Geek Bros podcast. And remember, geeking out still sounds this good.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.